G'day. How's it going? I hope you're having a shit one. That would be me right about now. I am having the shittest one. I was actually already planning on making a video about some bad news that I have, but then I did this, which we'll get into, so now I have really bad news. I went snowboarding recently with the boys a few weeks ago. On the trip, we decided to hit this blue run, which was pretty chill. As we started to go down the run, we started to get a huge dump of snow. But as we went down the run further, I started to just see less and less, and the visibility just became shocking. I hit a mogul, caught an edge, and just went straight over my board, like literally flew across in the air and just face planted into the ice. The right side of my chest or my shoulder area took most of my body weight for the fall. I just went bang straight into the ice. And I was feeling around through my ski jacket and I could feel like a sort of bone sticking out. Not out through my skin, but just something wasn't right. It felt like someone had tried to rip my arm off. It was just that painful. I walked into the medical doctor's office on the mountain and pretty much immediately they saw me and said that I'd most definitely broken my collarbone. After a lot of morphine, I got down to the actual hospital at the base and I got x-rayed. I actually broke off a part of my collarbone. It was just like hanging there, like sitting in my body. At the same time, as bad as that looks, I'm very lucky that I didn't do anything to my neck. Thank God I was wearing a helmet, just a lot of bruising on my chest and the broken collarbone. So I feel pretty lucky just to get away with that, to be honest. The problem was I was in New Zealand when this happened. I don't know if you've ever broken a bone before, but if you have, you know how much it sucks. Imagine on top of that having to go to the airport and get on a plane, sit on a plane, go home, and then when I got home and I landed in Melbourne, I had to wait another 72 hours before the surgeon could see me and fix me up. And that was just the worst few days of my life, just literally just lying there in bed. It was just so painful. I couldn't move. I got into surgery and they gave me the special sleepy juice. I went under and they put a titanium sort of plate and a bunch of titanium screws through me bone to keep it straight. So I'm 2 weeks into the recovery since the surgery now and I'm feeling better. I'm gonna make a full recovery. And I actually got this pretty sweet scar. I don't know if the camera's getting that, but I've got it on screen here, yeah. I got this pretty awesome scar. But wait, there's more. There's only half the bad news. I don't know why I'm laughing because it's not funny, but the original bad news I was going to share with you. I know on the channel I haven't shared much about Travis in a while, my project car for those wondering. That's because I was pretty much done with the car. It was just sitting there, wasn't getting much love. I thought I'd put it up for sale and just let it live on through someone else. Now that I've gotten more into the car, one of the reasons why I decided to sell it was because of the engine. Not that there's anything wrong with it, it's just not exactly what I was looking for in terms of a project car. Travis had a 1UZ engine in it, which is a 4-litre V8. And you can actually get quite a lot of power out of them. Some people do like a custom turbo setup, but that's like the key word there is custom. Now, I'm not really skilled in that way. I wish I knew how to weld on exhaust manifolds and build turbo kits and stuff, but I don't. So most parts, engine-wise, aren't really as readily available as a lot of other different cars you could pick. When I bought the car, I knew nothing about Soras. I actually didn't even know it was called a Sora. I just loved the look of the car and I just wanted to have one so I could work on it and just make it my own, right? As I learnt more about the Sora and more about the car in general, my goal for the car started to change, which made me run into a few more issues, such as doing a manual swap. Now, the V8 Soras never came with a manual transmission or a manual variant of the car, right? So what do? You swap one in. So I decided to buy this TR6060 transmission, which is from a Holden here in Australia. And if you buy like an adapter and cut off the bell housing and all this sort of stuff, you can make it fit into the 1UZ engine, into the Sora. So I was looking into that, but then again, started to run into issues of just work, time, money. I didn't really know which direction I wanted to go and I didn't know how much money and time I wanted to sink into doing something like that. Another thing, because of the way the car looked, the police.
You're fucking joking.
And if you live in Australia, you know that the Australian police, specifically Highway Patrol, looking at you,
fuck off.
We have the most backwards rules on modifying cars. Highway Patrol here in Australia just has a personal vendetta against anyone expressing their style wanting to modify their car. And although I thought it looked great, the ride height was really starting to piss me off. The car was static, sat very low to the ground, and God forbid I actually run into a speed bump because a single one of them would just end the career of the car. With all that in mind, that pretty much closes the chapter on Travis. It's sad, but at the same time, the car allowed me to meet a whole bunch of different people. I learned a lot of new skills modifying the car. It took me on a lot of different adventures. I don't regret any of the time or the money I spent on the car because I had a lot of fun while I was doing it, right? And it was exciting. It was something new and refreshing for me to do. At least it was a project car that could run. You know? But it's not over yet because I have something new to share with you. Ladies and gentlemen, drum roll please. I'd like to introduce you to my new 1997 Toyota Sora. That's right, bitch. Another fucking Travis. This Travis is different to Blue Travis. This one features a VVTi 1JZ single turbo engine and a factory manual, which is pretty rare for these cars, to be honest. And on top of that, it also has a factory LSD. So cool. Working on Travis 1 over the years just made me realize how perfect this car is for me. I love the look of it. I love the way it drives. And I just love the underwhelming discreetness of it. It makes me so drawn and fascinated towards a car that just looks like any other car. This car has a sleeper status to it, and it actually shares a lot of the same chassis as the Mark IV Supra and a lot of the JZX chassis as well, which makes getting parts for them a lot easier as well. This is the car I've wanted the whole time. The car won't go through as many cosmetic changes like we did last time. It's all about keeping the stock look, but underneath will be fully worked in the future. I feel like I'm maturing as a person to get the most grandpa looking car. One day, hopefully it can be stupid fast on flex fuel, making good power. Bit of sad news on the channel today, but I will leave you with some good news at least. I've actually just launched this year's 2024 photography competition and raffle in collaboration with Sigma Photo Australia, and they've been very generous and given us some really cool prizes to check out. So if you want to know how you can enter to win, I will leave a link in my description. In a few weeks, I'm going to be going to Taiwan, specifically Taipei the city, to test out some new Sony cameras in the rain. So you can expect a lot of rain POVs coming from me in the next few months. Doctor says I'm going to be good to go on the trip. If you've got any spots or food recommendations for me to check out, I'd love to hear them. That's it. Peace out. Thanks for watching. Keep having yourself a shit one. Try not to break your collarbone, and I will see you in the next one.